Hello students, my name is Kumari Neha. I am working at Bharati Dasanar Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Kaveri Pakam, and the lesson for today which we are going to take is from class 6th. Lesson name is measurements and we are going to see the second part in that. So now let's go to this chapter. So students, in the previous class we have discussed about how we have to discuss and what is the measurement and what is the unit for length, right? So today we are going to see how to do the experiment which is related to the length. So first experiment, it is to measure the length of a pin. Pin is a very small thing, right students? So how we can measure the length of it? So here we can use the centimeter scale. So here you can see that I am using a inch scale because inch is a type of measurement which is somewhat equal to centimeter, but it is twice the centimeter. So what I have done is here I have taken a paper pen. So here this paper pen, when I am keeping here, you can see that when in inches 1 it is occupying the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth part, like 6 parts have been covered here, right? And the total number of part in 1 inch is 8. So here what is the calculation? So the length of the pin, we can take it as the 6 parts, that is 6 divided by the total number of parts. So here total number of part is 7 and 8. Here it is occupying till here, right? So here we are writing as 8. So further calculations when we are doing here, that time we can calculate here using the table of 2. So 2 3s are and 2 4s are. So here finally we will get that 3 by 4th part of the pin is covering the 1 inch scale, right students? So now let's do the second experiment. In the second experiment, what we have to do? We have to measure the length of a curved line using a string. So here what is a string? So here the string which we are using is a thread. So first this is the curved line, then we are using the thread. Later on what we are going to do is, we are marking it the point P and point R, then we are taking the thread and we are attaching it to the first point. When we are attaching it, then slowly we will go to the each part and finally we will get the part R. So this, when we are taking the length, now this thread directly you can take to a centimeter scale or a millimeter scale and you will get to know what is the total length of this curved line, right students? Now we have talked about how we have to measure, like what is the length, but sometimes there can be some kind of error. Error means there can be a mistake. So there are two types of mistake. One is parallel mistake, that is the parallel error, and other one is a natural mistake which is due to the instruments. Instruments like a measuring scale or measuring tape or any kind of that. So here we are going to discuss about the parallax error. So what is the parallax error students here? So here parallel error, it is a displacement or difference in the apparent position of the object viewed along two different lines or two different sides. So here you can see there is a wooden block. Above that I have kept a centimeter scale. I need to find what is the length of my wooden block. So when I am keeping it above that, there are 3 people, person A, B and C. So when the person A is viewing from a opposite direction, that is it's not the perpendicular direction, he will mark the scale as 5.7 centimeter. Here the 5.7 centimeter is a wrong measurement because same way when the C person also views from the other side, that is again not the perpendicular item, then he will also see a different measurement which is 5.5 centimeter. But there is a person B. The person B is very smart. So what he is doing is, he is viewing the length from the above, that is he is seeing it perpendicularly. So when he is seeing it correctly, he will find what is the correct length of the wooden block. So here the person A and the person B are doing a Palek's error. Same way person B is doing the measurement very correctly, right students? Now let's come to the experiment related to that, okay students. So here what we are going to do is, we are going to measure the length of a curved line using a divider. So what is a divider? This is a divider. Generally we use this in mathematics, right? So here what we are doing is, we are taking the divider, the thread and the scale. So these are the three things which we are going to use in this experiment. So what I am doing is, I am first taking the divider and I am placing it over this position. When I am placing it over this position, that time you can see that from, imagine this is the divider, okay students. I am keeping divider one position here and the other finger like this. Then this position I will mark it as 1. Same way as it is getting curved, we are going to mark. So from here to here there is a long space, plus it can be seen as a straight line. So that is why we are marking it as a 4 position. Same way we are doing it all. So here the small divisions are of different lengths, right? So what we are doing is, the length of the curved line using a divider, we are taking the first length plus the second length, third, fourth and so on as ninth. Now when we are adding all this, that is called sum of all the measurements, then we will get the exact length using how much length or how much centimeter our curved line is. Okay students? Now we should know what is mass, right? So mass is a type of object which is occupying the space with some kind of volume. So you can see here the definition of mass. Mass is a measure of the amount of matter in an object. So matter is what students? Matter is anything which occupies space and has some kind of mass, right? So here that is why this matter can be of 3 types. It can be a solid, liquid or a gas. But right now we are talking only about the solids, okay children? So the SI unit of mass is kg. So students, what is SI unit? SI unit is a standard unit. Why standard unit? Because each place has a different kind of measurements. For example, if we are weighing here weight in India, then we will weigh it in kgs generally, right? But when this weight is calculated in foreign countries, they will calculate the weight in pounds. So that is why we need a standard unit, that is called kg. Kg is what? Kilogram. What is kilogram? It is kilogram. Right. Now here we have to see 2 things are there. One is the mass, which is related to the matter present around it, and another thing is weight. So whenever people are asking you what is your weight, they will ask the weight, they will not ask what is your mass, right students? Why? Because in the earth there is some kind of force, like that is a gravitational force. So whenever the weight, that is the mass, is calculated with the weight, that is the experience of gravitational pull will be from the down, from the earth core. So that is why it's called the weight. And here you can see that if we want to find what is the mass, then we can take the weight plus when we are multiplying it with the mass on the surface of the earth, what we'll get? We'll get the weight. And same way, weight is directly proportional to the mass on the surface of the earth, right? Now let's do this comparison. So here you can see mass versus weight. So here mass, this person is only seeing the matter around it, right? Same way when you are taking the weight, that weight is a pull from the earth, that is the gravitational force. What is the force, children? Here the force is gravitational, G-R-A-V-I-T-A-T-I-O-N-A-L, gravitational force, right? So here you have understood what is the difference between the mass and the weight. Now let's go to the next topic in this. So here in this you can see how we are comparing the weight and the mass. There is only one difference between the weight and mass. That is, if you need to find what is weight, then you have to calculate it with the gravity. Same way, here there is a conversion in the weights. So here in the conversion you can see that here 1000 milligrams will be equal to 1 gram. That is, 1 gram is having 1000 parts of milligram. Same way, 1000 gram will have 1 kilogram. Again here 1 kilogram will have how many parts? It will have 1000 parts. Same way, 1000 kilogram will be equal to 1 ton. Especially in foreign countries, they will talk, whenever they are talking in bulk, they will tell that this is 1 ton, or for example 1000 tons. So 1000 tons is what? 1000 multiplied by 1000 kilogram, and you will get the value of kilograms, right students? Now let's come to the different weighing balances. Now we understood the concept of mass. So here now we are seeing there are two types of balance in which we can use and we can find what is the weight of the instrument. So one is a beam balance. So what is a beam balance? A beam balance works by the comparing the mass of an object to that of a known mass called the standard mass. So in ancient time what people used to do, they used to have a particular type of instrument which was like looking like this, right? So what they used to do, for example, you need 12 kgs of banana, okay. Now when you are keeping here 12 kgs of banana, you will have a 12 kg book, or you can call it as 12 kg of block. They will have, right, they will have a square or circular in which it will written small will be 100 grams, bigger will be 1 kg, and same way. So that time they used with a standard weight. Same way, when we are comparing it with the electronic balance, here we don't need an additional weight, right? Here what we can do is, if we need 1 kg of sugar, so directly I will take some amount of sugar, I can keep it above this, and here from this electronic balance you will get to know how much amount of sugar you are taking. It can be excess or less. That can be done just by removing or adding, right? So here the definition of electronic balance is, electronic balance is a device used to find the accurate why we are saying here? Because it will give the correct measurement, accurate weight or measurement of a substance. Here we took the example of sugar, right? And now let's come to time. So what is the time? Students, why we need time? Right now it's morning, right? But when you are seeing the video, it can be evening, night, or any period of time. So here we need time to know how fast or how slow the things are going here. For example, these 3 people or children are going for a race of 100 meter. Now they want to know how fast or how much time they are taking to complete 1 meter race or 100 meters race. For that they need it, okay. Same way, previously we are having this. What is this? This is known as a sand clock. So in ancient time, when they did not have a proper clock, that time they used sand clock. So what happened? It used to come, that is the sand from the upper body used to come down. When it takes around 1 hour, okay students. When it is completely down, that time we will get to know that yes, 1 hour has been finished. Same way, these are the different types of clocks. So here, this clock is known as the digital clock. Why it is known as a digital clock? Because it will give the accurate time, and this time can be in any time. It can be a 12-hour clock or 24-hour clock, right? So what is this, children? This is a electronic what, children? Electronic clock. Same way, this clock is known as a stopwatch Because whenever we are measuring, that time we need the seconds instruments also. We need to know how many milliseconds or seconds has been finished when you are doing the race. So this is known as a stopwatch. What it is? Stop watch. Same way, in previously times, what they used to do is, they used to use a sun clock or they used a sundial. So what is the sundial? Here they have kept from 12 to 1, that is 1 to 12, that is the minute clock in which we are having it in homes also, okay. So what is happening here, as the sun comes, it will cover or it will shade at a particular place. For example, it is 12 o'clock, then what will happen? The sun will be on the head. So when it is on the head, it will be directly proportional, or you can call it as perpendicular. So when it is perpendicular, that time the shade of 12 will come directly and you will go to know the timing is 12. So what is this clock name, children? This clock name is sundial. What it is? Sundial. Now I hope you have understood why we are calling it as a sundial, because for knowing the time using a sundial we need sun, which is the natural cause of timing, or you can call it as rhyme. Same way here, when we are doing numerical problems, here we need to know how to do the conversion, right? So here in this conversion you can see that 1 kilometer will be equal to 100 meters. So children, there is a trick, okay. So kilometer is known as the multiple of meter. Same way, centimeter is known as submultiple, and this is the SI unit of length. So when you are doing the conversion, remember there is a trick behind this. It is 1000, 100 and 10. So when you are remembering this, just what you have to do is, this type of conversion you need to do. That is 1000 kilometers will be, 1 kilometer will be 1000 meters, 1 meter will be 100 centimeter, same way 1 centimeter will be 10 millimeters. So now let's do how to do the calculations with this. So now we are going to do a few problems. So here what we are doing is first problem. So what is the first problem here? In the first problem they are asking 7875 centimeter, how you will convert that into meter and centimeter. So here what was the answer? So 1 meter was equal to how many centimeter? It was 100 centimeter. So here there is 4 place values. So when you are doing here, you will take this 4 place values as 3 place value, 1, 2 and a point, because here it is 1. So how many zeros are here? There are 2 zeros. So how we can write it is 78 meter and 75 centimeter, right? 75 centimeter. Same way, now you need to find what is the second solution. In the second question, what they are asking? In the second question, they are asking 1195 meter is equal to how many kilometers and how many meters. So here, what is the calculation? Here you know that 1 kilometer is equal to how much? Is equal to 1000 meters. So here you can take that thousands is 3 place value, that is 3 zeros are there. So how you can write it as 1, 2, 3 and a point, right? So here the answer will come as 1 kilometer and 195 meters, right? Same way, now I want to erase this, okay children? Now why I am removing this? Because there are more questions here now. Now let's come to the third question. So in the third question, what they are asking? In the third question, they are asking 15 centimeter and 10 millimeter is equal to how many millimeter? So here you can write it as 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So here how many zeros are there? Here only one zero is there. So 15 centimeter, when you multiply by 10, you will get 150, right? So this 150, again there is 10 millimeter. 150 plus 10 is how much? It is 160. So the answer here will come as 160 millimeter. Now let's come to the final thing. So in the final question, they are asking 45 kilometer and 33 centimeter is equal to how many meters? So we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters, right? Here we have to convert it into meter. So 45 kilometer is how much? 45 kilometers you have to multiply by 1000. So the answer you will get is 45000 plus this 33 meters. So when you are adding this, what you will get? Here I will write the directly answer 4, 5, 0, 3 and 3. So the final answer is 45,033 meter. Right students? Now I hope you have understood till here. So students, after going through the PPT presentation, what I have done is, what you have to do is, you have to go to the description box. Once you are going to the description box, there are 3 files attached there: study material, question bank and self-assessment. After finishing this video, you can go to the self-assessment, or you can directly first see how I have done the study material. Go through the study material, then for the self-evaluation, go to the self-assessment. Right students, self-assessment will tell you how much you have understood. So once you are done with it, after that you can write it and you can send in the group school WhatsApp. I hope students you have enjoyed the session. Bye bye.
நளினி அமிர்தாவோட ஃபாதர் ப்ரீகேஜிலேருந்து 8th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் படிக்கிறாங்க. இப்போ அது 5:30 to 6:30 வந்து கிரவுண்ட் ரன்னிங் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு பாடி எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு அப்படியே ஸ்கூல் அட்டன் பண்ணிவிட்டு மத்தியானம் மேலே மதர் தெரேசா அகாடமிலையும் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. மெட்ராஸில் MEMலும் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. நேஷனல் லெவலில் வந்து கோல்டு அடிச்சிருக்காங்க.
ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்லேயும் சரி ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் அதே நேரத்தில் ஸ்டடீஸுக்கும் வந்து அவங்க எந்த ஒரு பிரச்சனையும் இல்லாமல் இந்த விஷயத்தில்